So the mechanic that I'm going to break down today is the classic key opens door mechanic. Essentially, the player character will have to find a key that opens a corresponding door. And I'm going to use Doom from 1993 as my example. A lot of games use this mechanic, but I really like the original Doom game, and so I just wanted to use this as the example. So we'll run the video in the background here. But essentially, the player will traverse a level, and the player will have to come across a key so that they can open a corresponding door. The UI for the player character actually contains 3 slots here that indicate whether or not the player is holding a key. One is for the red key, one is for yellow, and one is for blue. But essentially, as the player, when the player finds the key, all they're going to have to do is walk over it, and they'll be able to obtain the key. Now, if you notice, really quick, let's go back a little bit here. Oh, we went a little bit too far ahead. So if you notice the player character, as they walk through this hallway here, let's shoot a couple bad guys. As they walk through this hallway here, more bad guys to shoot. Okay, so if the player walks through this hallway, they will see the red door. Now, the red door is just indicated by the fact that there is red on the sides. And that tells you that the door cannot be opened without a key. So the player is going to have to search through the level a little bit more and find the correct key in order to open the red door. So we'll search around for a little bit, switch to fists here. And let's see, goes up the elevator. The elevator is also another cool mechanic, but we're not going to be talking about that just this moment. So as the player walks up these stairs here, now the player finds a blinking red object. This is actually the red key. The player doesn't actually have to press any buttons or do anything special to obtain the key. They just need to collide with the key. We're going to shoot this bad guy here. The player just needs to collide with the key. And in the corner, actually, you might not be able to see it because of the YouTube video. But in the corner up here, it'll tell the player that they picked up the red key. So let's go back a little bit. And see right here, it says that the player has picked up the red key card. So now the player should be able to go through the red door. And again, nothing special was done. The player did not press any buttons. The player did not perform any special task. All they had to do was collide with the red key, and the player character automatically picked it up. So we'll see if the player here is going to go back to where the red key was. And there's the door. And now the player can open the red key door. And as you notice, the UI is also filled out here, showing that the player has the red key. So now the player can open all the doors that are red in the level. And that's basically the mechanic. It's pretty simple. It's just the player character collides with an object. The object is now applied to their person, so as indicated on the UI. So the UI changes. The player is now granted the ability to open red doors. And now the player can walk up to a red door. And I believe the button on the PC version of this game is the space bar button to open doors. So there's an action button that needs to be used in order to open doors. But yeah, that's pretty much the mechanic.